Hello everybody, welcome back down into the dungeon. As you can see, it's sort of a let your hair down, sort of relaxing, kind of chilling in the basement day. Not a whole lot going on, still pretty cloudy and crappy outside, so all the peppers are still, well, hanging out in the living room upstairs. So I thought, you know, if I wanted to be productive and still garden related today, I'd better do some, well, basic maintenance and housekeeping down here. Started rearranging things and I thought to myself, you know, I really should have the camera for this. So this is where we're at so far. Because of the situation with the dying LEDs down there, that's all just overflow. Still got that one, really purpley one, but, you know, I wasn't really getting much out of that space. For about the same wattage, I can turn these three back on, and I get a really nice lighting effect through the stairs when I come down. It's much brighter, easier to see. So I brought up the coffee plants, and boy, are these things filthy. So I think having them up at eye level will be good for them because I'll remember to clean them every once in a while. And can you believe this Dieffenbachia is still alive? This thing, well, it's struggling, but it's still with us for now. So yeah, gonna get things cleaned up, tidied up. It has gotten to be quite a mess down here, really, and a good thorough cleaning is absolutely in order. Yes, I did bring my tripod. We might do some transplanting a little later. We shall see. So as I've told you before, the goal right now, and for, well, probably the summer, come fall, I'll probably start planting again for sure. Start planting again. Who am I kidding? Probably. But anyway, the goal for the short term is to get all of the basement plants that aren't in the aquaponics on this table here, and to move both of those green plant lights so they're above it, and the whole thing is incredibly well lit. At which point in time I'll probably look into probably just some white paint. White paint and Mylar both come up a lot as suggestions for these back walls. But yeah, I think white paint is probably a better long-term, kind of cheap, efficient solution. Both of those, well, all three of those I like, so that is good. As far as the rest of the dungeon down here, should probably be using that exercise bike a little bit more. I want to get some plywood up on that wall there and paint it so I've got at least a white background. But then I was kind of thinking I might as well have a little fun with it, because I mean, after all, I don't have any landlords to get the approval of, right? So why not do some useful gardening graffiti along the back, you know? I'll try my hand at the train car style NPK on there, and you know, otherwise just put reminders up there. No tomato starts before March. I'm gonna write that somewhere because those things are just way too big, way too big. Got some work to do over here. I'd like to get this table emptied today so that I can move the light either today or tomorrow, we'll see. But you know, it's all part of just getting things under the big light. So let's get started on that, I guess. Wouldn't mind getting these all moved over to that table too. A, so these lights can be together, poor little spider plant, and B, because this thing is such a pain in the neck, we'll say. It's very awkward, you know, it makes getting the aquaponics quite difficult. Actually wouldn't mind actively planting these into the ponics either. I'm sure they'll be much happier if I do. So that'll be good. So much to do. Anyway, over here on the table, we can still see the tomatoes in those noodle cups doing just fine. That last cutting, I tried to keep it moist. Did the same thing they all do on me. It eventually died off. But I think I'm making progress because that lasted a little longer than the other ones. This HJ4 Space Chili. Not quite sure what's going on at the heart of that, but we'll move it over to the table today. Got these bad brains I need to transplant today. Quite curious to see what those are going to grow up to produce. Too bad about the early improved watermelons. They did die off on me. A lot of just soil dumping to be done here. Got some nice strong basil starts to transplant out of there though, so that's good. At least something came out of all this. It is with the utmost sadness that today we say goodbye to this poor What the heck was it anyway? Sugar Rush Red. I tried. I thought it might survive a couple times. Didn't come back. It's worm bin now. I was thinking about tossing its mint into the worm bin too, but you know, yesterday we had somebody come over and I gave her like 7 tomato plants. Didn't even notice a difference in the forest, right? Just totally made her day though. People around here just, they get really happy when you give them plants. So I think I'm going to double cup this instead of just composting it. And I'll find somebody to give it to. Make their day too, you know? Now when you think about the fact that this was undoubtedly just shoved in there as a cutting, I would probably stuck my finger in, stuffed a pen in there, plunked it in. It's developed a pretty decent root system along the way. I've cut this thing back a few times. If you look at the main stem, looks like it's just dying to put out more growth, so it'll probably do just fine in one of these double cups, so long as I actually remember to water the darn thing. Will it fit though? Little crowded. It's a mint, it'll deal with it. Speaking of mint, I decided to take that big one from underneath the other grow light, put it down here on the shelf where I've got just that one light working, so one light, one plant. Kind of a waste on mint, but it's what, 16 watts, so yeah, not even gonna notice that. What I will notice, however, is how fresh and delicious the mint tastes in my tea, so that's worth for 14, 15, heck, I'd even spend 20 watts on that. Sure, I've spent considerably more than that by this point there. But things are starting to come along in here. There's been a few changes that you haven't gotten to see. You know, you can kind of tell the glare's bad back there, but I've got everything from underneath the other light sitting up on the table. And it seems to have light, so I guess I can leave it unplugged for now. But look at this space! I have floor space again, which of course will make it much easier to rearrange things. I even got rid of the spider plant over there. So next step, I guess, is I gotta move the Enterprise, and then I can unplug that LED light and not have to trip over the cord anymore. Sweet. Getting a good laugh at myself there. Here I am trying to justify 14 to 16 watts on some mint, not even thinking about the fact that I'm about to turn off 100 and plus watts right there, so yeah. Much to do. Well, slowly but surely making the progress here. Just got a few peppers to go, a couple of ahi fantasies and some more bad brains. And then it's just the few survivors of the 72 cell massacre. Hopefully I can keep what did sprout and stayed alive growing for, you know, another month until I can go outside. And then, oh hey, what's hiding back here? The cauliflower never made it out. That'll never do. Anyway, and then I'll be able to wipe it off, call it clean, and move the light. That'll be good. I think the aquaponic garden would definitely benefit from that extra fluorescent light. I've said it in numerous videos, so it'd be about time to get on testing that theory, I think. Especially since the ahi panic is trying to put on peppers for me. And well, aside from my tea, there's basically nothing left that I need on this table. Eating mat's unplugged. I'll unplug this light here, be able to move it soon. Yeah, should be good. Let's go take a look under the big light and the big purple glare. So the unpronounceable tomato needs to go upstairs with the rest of them in the laundry room so it can start getting used to life outside. But the rest of these, I think, are probably going to stay down here. We've got some parsley, should probably go outside. The mouse melons will definitely go outside. Maybe some of the basil, but the peppers are all staying in here. I'm going to try and give away a couple of these mint, maybe even a few. This one here was forgotten for quite a while. Hopefully it will come back for us. A little ladybug running around on the cup, and there's that one in its cocoon there. But yeah, basically everything now fits on the table or in the aquaponic garden. So that gives me a lot more space that I can play with things and rearrange so I can have a good strong start for next year. And to wrap things up on a happy, positive note, I am pleased to let you know that many of you have your one request finally being fulfilled. I am... Thanks to everybody at Patreon, I've been able to free up a little bit extra cash, and I have finally ordered a proper mic and hopefully the right cord to connect it to this ancient camera of mine. No, I'm not going HD yet, guys, because like as I've said before, my computer simply can't handle it. Hopefully, branching out into the world of Twitch will help me, well, figure out how to tweak my computer, and or put me in a position where I can replace it, because Lord knows it should be retired by this point. But anyway, yeah, so I have a mic on the way so that hopefully my volume level will remain consistent throughout the videos, which has bothered me, so I'm sure it must be bothering you guys. And hopefully, fingers crossed, can't do that without my other hand, fingers crossed, hopefully we can get rid of 90% of that annoying wind noise when I'm taking videos outside, especially since we're going into the summer and a lot of my videos are of course going to be outside. So yeah, let's pray for a speedy trip from China for the cord. So I still won't be able to use this stuff until probably mid-July, but hey, it was free shipping. The most important part, it was actively available. So yeah, a long wait, but it is on the way. Thank you for your patience, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.